Hey, welcome back to Asset Saturdays, where I 3D model things, so, you don't have to. So, finally making another video. Sorry for being MIA. I'm back again, and today we're just gonna 3D model a lightsaber in Star Wars. I know it's past May 4th, but, this whole month I've been looking at Star Wars content. Honestly, I've been trying to rewatch Star Wars in chronological order, starting from like the Acolyte and then all the way to like the sequels. And honestly, it's been it's been really refreshing. I'm still not done. I'm still trudging through like the Acolyte because I kind of seen everything else, but it got me the idea of just a 3D model a custom lightsaber for fun. And I was like, what would be a good idea? Because there's just so many lightsaber designs out there, from like stabs, like Hontos or whatever they're called, smaller ones. And then got me thinking, what if I made one my OC, but then it was like huge. It was like how small characters have like giant weapons and they like just wield it around. But the thing is, lightsabers are supposed to be like weightless. So I was like, let's give him like a giant or big hilt and have him do a lot of flips and with like a big ass sword. So I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Thinking it over and taking some references from like other media, like Poppy from League of Legends and like Zabuza from Naruto and like Cloud from Final Fantasy, even Yoda from Star Wars. I really want it to kind of have like a bigger hilt, just so like it's like two-handed and you have to like, there's gonna be a lot of weight to it. In achieving the design for the lightsaber, I think I'm gonna have to make the top and bottom portions be bigger to make it have more of that weight and draw your eyes more closer to those like heavier versions. And I'm kind of basing it off of, I don't know why this came in my head, like old like World War One, World War Two, like grenades where like you had to like pull it and throw it like sticks. That's kind of what I'm going for, almost like a flashlight. And I guess that just brings us back to the whole point of the video. And as you can see, I started from like the middle of the hilt where like you would grip with your fingers to about the bottom portion, and then I worked my way back up to like the top, and I wanted to have like almost this exposed area where the kyber crystal would like come out and like glow as like an extra effect. I don't know if I'm finalizing this design per se. I think I want to add a little more details to it, just because like I think it needs like cloth or like wrapping, maybe add some like scratches and wear and tear to it to give it more material and more of that worn look, and just give the overall aesthetic of like it's been used, like it has more character to it. It looks more interesting, I guess, for a lack of better terms. And I also added some of the buttons and some of the, I don't know exactly what it's called, but where you deactivate and activate the lightsaber again. Maybe I also wanted, oh man, I forgot about this, but I wanted to actually add more to it, to the point where I 3D model and then rig it to the point where you could extend it even further, almost have it being like the hilt being like almost a two-handed, to like being almost like staff size, where like you would just extend that. Oh man, I forgot to do that. Maybe I'll do it in a second version or second attempt after this, but yeah. And the top portion is made of like several different like smaller pieces. I was trying to get the poly count down for that, like at least something to a little more manageable size. But again, I think I'm gonna play around with the vertexes and the poly count a little bit more before finalizing it. Or maybe I'll just go back and just redo it. I don't know. Depends how I feel. Working like a 12-hour like day and like hour and then coming back, and it's like, I want to keep working on this. I really do, but it's like, I'm so lazy, I'm so tired. But I really had a fun time doing this. I think Star Wars is one of my favorite like franchises. Well, not in recent memory, quite honestly, but overall, it was good. I mean, also, I mean, I over the weekend actually, my brother was in town, and I was like, you know what? He loves watching movies. Let's just go watch a movie. So we saw the new Mandalorian and Grogu, and in my honest opinion, it was okay. Maybe I'm just getting a little older now, but I was getting kind of tired, and I kind of heard what other people were saying, and it felt like just a long movie, or like a long like Disney Plus show. Like it was just an extension of the show itself, and like I don't know. I was starting to fall asleep. There were points where it was really good, and there was other points where it was like, I kind of want to sleep right now. Now, in no disrespect, overall, it's a still fun concept. I love the Mandalorian. I love Grogu. They're awesome pair, and I just want to see like, I just want to see more. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that story play out. I want to see how like the characters develop, and I want to see like new, kind of what everyone else is saying. Like I want to see something new. I want to see new corners of the galaxy. But you know, not here nor there. Random rant. Back to the design though. I try to use different parts from different components. You can see obviously where I was like, oh, let me look at Obi-Wan's lightsaber from the movies, and let me see where I'm looking at like Jedi Survivor like concept art for some of the lightsaber designs that they use. And I'm just overall just playing with a lot of shapes. And again, I'm still rusty, so it's like I am still trying to get back to the swing of things. And I'm playing with vertexes, I'm forgetting keys, I'm deleting stuff, and you know, it's overall still a learning process for me. But overall, having fun, and that's all it is at the end of the day. As long as you're having fun and you're making stuff, that's kind of all what Asset Saturdays are about. It's just experimenting, trying new things, doing things that like, you know, you're not comfortable with. And I think that's the whole point of why I try and do these types of videos, is that it's memories for me, obviously, to like keep myself accountable and like realize like how I'm growing, but also it's just about having fun. I think you want to like make stuff that you like honestly like enjoy, and that you like do it every other day. And honestly, I do. You know, this is honestly really fun, even though like I get a huge headache from like certain things, and I get a lack of sleep, which like, you know, comes with the title and the job. But totally worth it at the end of the day. I think it's totally worth it. Again, if you're gonna get into this, you should. It's a lot of fun. But just know that, you know, there are nights where you're gonna be like, fudge, I really want to sleep right now, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I guess enough of that rant. But yeah, I'm working on the buttons right now. I'm working on some of the details. And, you know, I don't have a purpose for any of that. I was going off of basic Star Wars shapes, if I can say that. A lot of squares, a lot of symmetry, a couple of smaller details, maybe. I wanted to, oh man, I think I did it in here, but if I didn't, I think I added a small glow material to it. And I think we're gonna slowly get to there. Oh, and then the top of the hilt, I was actually really happy with this, where I cut out part of the hilt to give it like this like angular ventilation, I guess, for a lack of better terms. And it just turned out very like unique. Like the whole shape came out very unique, and I think I really enjoyed doing that at least. And I think from here, I'm just adjusting the portions and sizing of all the top and bottom components. Maybe the buttons are a little too big, and maybe some of the edges just need to be cleaned up a little bit. Maybe some need to be a little more defined. Some need to be less defined. And just parenting everything to just kind of make sure it doesn't break during animation or like it falls apart. Also adding some like a solidify modifier, maybe adjusting the layers to everything. Make sure you double check when you're doing the modifiers to see which is under which layer. Sometimes like your mirrors need to get the top, and sometimes your solidify, needs to be like the second or maybe the bottom portion. Overall, just double check your work. Make sure that it's how you want it and how you like it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It is texturing and coloring next. And this is honestly my favorite part of doing it all. It's just adding color, adding a little more vibrancy, adding like the character and the emotion behind the whole like sculpt. And always, it's always my most it's one of the hardest things I do. I overthink about a lot. And I overall was gonna try and do something like maybe wood, a mix of silvers and gold, but I think I just went with just the black and gold because I like black and gold. And I think I wanted it to kind of just be a little simple, but that's why I also wanted to go back and maybe add a cloth or add a little more like smaller details, like a ring where like it hooks onto your belt, or maybe like a strap of some kind. I don't know. I'm still finalizing it. I'm still thinking about it and just seeing what it needs. But yeah, I also wanted to add scratch marks to it. But yeah, the coloring, I just kept it simple just for the sake of time, because again, this was at like, my bedtime's at like 8, and you know, working till like 1, you're just kind of like, I gotta wake up in like 4 hours, and yeah, it's not fun, I'll tell you that. And you can also see where like I mixed some of the colors. Like I was gonna actually add more of a dark color to like the edges to maybe add a little more like a shadowy contrast to it, but I think I went with a gold just to like separate the colors a little bit. Maybe I should have made this a more silver color. I'm thinking about it, but because I think it was a lot of black and gold, and it made it just a little too boring, I guess. I think it'd be too boring. I think I gotta go back and maybe add a little silvers to it. I think I made the button silver, but I think I gotta make this like coil section like a darker silver. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think is gonna look better there? A light gray, dark gray? You know, I'd appreciate the help. Maybe even the whole like cylindrical area where like the crystal gets exposed. Maybe I'll turn that gray as well and just kind of break up the colors so it's not so like one like or two colors. It makes it, you know, dull. And you know, I didn't realize this till like I was in the middle of trying to paint this, and I was like, I totally forgot to 3D model a crystal shape or the kyber crystal, because it would just look like a stick. And I was like, oh, do I spend like another like 4 hours doing that? I said I probably shouldn't, but I did. So yeah, I 3D modeled a quick like stone looking rock and added a like crystal glass modifier to like the textures, and I think I added like noise, Voronoi textures to like the color to give it more of that gloss, maybe add a little more of the imperfection and patterns into the rock. And then yeah, gave it a blue. Maybe I'll go back to green. I gave it a blue for right now, and you'll see it at the end. Yeah, so you can see like this is towards the end now, where I'm just kind of finalizing maybe some colors, finishing up maybe some of the vertexes and some of the planes that just didn't color right, and just adding a little more detail to it. I think I want to hand paint some of the textures on too, maybe do a couple of scratches if I, you know, when I learn how to do it. I'm also thinking of actually coloring the sides of the buttons, the panel on the side, maybe some of the edges and the underlying features of the lightsaber, just to add a little more like hand-painted crafted detail. I don't know. I'm also thinking of adding like a noise texture to like the black to just give it a little more texturing. I think to give it just a little more like that hand-painted feel. But I'm also gonna try. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but I'm gonna try to hand paint texture on there on the lightsaber. Don't know yet. Maybe when I do the gray, I'll go back and maybe just add like grayish tones. And there goes my dog. Also just found out that the Knicks won in Game 5, so congrats to New York. Very jealous of that. Congratulations. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the texturing as well. And we're just gonna do a quick look around. We're gonna turn around it just to give you guys a better perspective. Maybe just look at some things. My dog is really freaking loud right now. She's playing with her toy. But yeah, this is how it looks for right now. Might do some more to it off camera, might not, and just start animating. I think I might do that because it's been a while since I animated, and I think this deserves to be animated to its fullest. I'm gonna get some references. I'm gonna start blocking out right now. And yeah. Oh, I also forgot to add the Kyber crystal still, so there you go. Added the Kyber crystal. You can see the glow. You can see some of the noise textures. Jesus Christ. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of Asset Saturday for today. Catch me back next weekend, or possibly the next weekend when I had time to do something else. If you have any suggestions of what I should do next, or if I should, look into something else, let me know. I would love to do it. Whenever I have free time, I'll definitely go through it. Leave a comment, subscribe, and yeah, catch you guys later. Okay.